Well, you got yourself a verdict. I wouldn't be standing in front of the DA's office with a sign that says guilty and be cheering. Most of the people in New York too damn stupid to understand what Bragg and this judge have accomplished. Yeah, they got a guilty verdict on Trump, but they have forevermore changed the landscape of the rights and freedoms that we have as Americans. Who would crash the country? What idiot who wanted his 15 seconds of fame would trash the rule of law? What stiff-legged goose stepper would take down democracy? And who would absolutely cut the legs out from under the blind lady of fairness and justice, holding the scales of truth? Okay, this is the way it is. This crooked judge, and I do mean crooked, this is one dumb son of a bitch if there ever was one. And the prosecutor, Bragg, must have taken 25 turns at the bubblegum machine to get that damn law degree and a license to practice. Of course, it's in New York. You see, whenever the court makes a ruling, gotta turn on my fan here, it's hot. It's hot because I'm drinking and I'm pissed and things are not working well. When the judge allows the decision of the jury to be entered into the books, it becomes what is known as case law. Every court who has a similar case must rely on the decision in this courtroom, of this courtroom. What this means is this. I told you that when I had first started my business, it's hard to get a business off of the ground. Luckily, we stayed in business for 20 years. But I had to borrow money from the bank. So what did I do? I leveraged every fountain pen, every fountain pen, every copier, every piece of paper, every rubber band, every clip, so that I could get more money for my business. That shot in the arm worked. We got to where we were making 12 grand a week. We were doing well. But that's not the way it's going to be anymore. Blowing up your business, fortifying it, fudging, lying, whatever, to get more money from the bank, as long as the bank is satisfied, which every bank that Trump did business with had their loans repaid. Nobody was a victim. Now, if you own XYZ Widget Company or Harvey's Used Cars or whatever, and you do that, even if the bank is satisfied, you get you a sheriff or you get you a district attorney or solicitor who doesn't like you. They now have the right to take you to court on a felony charge, not a misdemeanor. Bragg boosted that one misdemeanor that he cut up into 36 parts and turned them into felonies. He can get 5 years per felony. He could spend the next 160 years in prison. They have taken away our freedom in the marketplace and in the business place to conduct business as it has been conducted for the last 100 years. This practice goes on each and every day. And like I said, if the bank gets their money, there is not a crime. It is a crime if you do not repay the bank. Donald Trump did. We're Banana Republic, according to this trial. According to the adjudication of this case, we have become a Banana Republic. We are a third world nation, at best. The public does not understand the severity of the decision on this case. Whether you're a businessman or not, there's going to be some rude awakenings in the business world. And I'm going to make a statement right now that's going to piss a lot of people off, but I'm going to tell you why. You know who convicted Donald Trump? We did. We did. For the last 18 months, we have sat on our ass and allowed the woke generation to move in to our schools, to our judicial system, to every area in our life that we live each and every day, and we never said anything about it. We never raised hell. We never got pissed off. So the blame is not on the criminals that ran this case. The true blame is on us. You see, if we had stood up to CRT, if we had stood up to the woke generation, if we had stood up to BLM, if we had stood up to Antifa, this might not have happened. But no, hell no. We must be all inclusive. You see? We're going to let that big old hairy man go in behind that little girl into the bathroom because we're all inclusive, boy. We don't want to piss anybody off. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This makes me just absolutely sick. Spent 45 years of my life in law enforcement. Hundreds and hundreds of courtrooms where I saw justice being done. And this one, you lowlife, bunch of sorry son of a bitches have destroyed the rule of law. Who is stupid enough to take down protocol for the United States and what we stand for just to get back at Trump? You watch. They're going to appeal to the Supreme Court. And with the pull that they should have a hearing before election time. And this will all be overturned. Because you see, there's an etiquette, there's a protocol that you follow in a court of law, and none of these people even begin to follow the rule of law. And the judge shut down the defense counsel for Trump every bit of the way. Wouldn't let him have a change of venue. You know, he got 6% of the vote in Manhattan. So it tells you he has no friends there. I'm going to tell you what I'd like to see. I got to be careful how I put this because Facebook won't like it. YouTube sure as hell won't like it. I've been in courtrooms where the bad guy got away with it. And it pissed off a family of 10 or 15 or maybe 20 people. I've seen drunk drivers get off. And a whole family, 2 or 3 families, would be pissed off. This decision will piss off 70 million people. We cannot sit back anymore. We cannot let Trump go to prison. We don't have anybody else to run for president. Now, I don't know his name. It's a little guy, looks like a Mexican, extremely smart, talented, knows what he's doing. Elect him. If Trump's in prison, elect him president. Let him pardon Trump and then have it in writing. He abdicates the throne and Trump as the vice president takes over. Hello. That ain't tea either. We must do something. We cannot sit idly by and allow Trump to go to prison for the rest of his life. Speaking of life, I would not like to be that judge. I would not like to be Bragg. I would not like to be anybody on that jury. In fact, I wish they had polled the jury. I was curious to see how 3 attorneys who have these magical law degrees could look any defendant in the face and in the eye and say, we found reasonable doubt. We saw probable cause. We found mens rea. We knew you had a criminal intent to do this. All the bullshit that was allowed that was illegal. You cannot let hearsay. You cannot let the rantings and ravings of a whore or the rantings and ravings of a convicted liar stand. You're not in court. It doesn't work that way. You can't do it. But Trump's attorneys would stand up and get shouted back down. They'd protest, you know, and the judge would just tell, he'd yell at them, sit down and shut up. I told you 6 months ago they were gonna convict him. Now I'm gonna tell you what, I told you just a minute ago, this is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see 70 million people take to the street tomorrow. All weekend. All weekend. Black, white, brown, don't make any difference to me. I will stand right there beside you. I will carry a placard. I will piss and moan. I will do whatever I can do. But if you stay in your home this weekend, scratch your ass and watch television, someone ought to kick your ass. We need to come out for Trump. I would love to plan something, but you know, you can't get people to get concerned. You better fucking get concerned right now. I'm telling you, you better get pissed off. Because you have no idea of what's coming down the pike directly at us. You don't know what kind of legal rights we have lost today. If they can do it to Donald Trump, they can do it to any one of you. Our fault. I told you over and over what the woke generation was doing, and damn, you still sat there scratching your scrotum watching television. And we let the best president we ever had will probably go to jail. He can't run. He can't run with all those felonies. They'll find a way to stop him. Oh, did you listen to Bragg? How about Warnock? Warnock can kiss my lily white ass. Warnock, convicted wussy. Oh, justice was served here today. You can't break the law. You're not above the law, even Donald Trump. Well, you are, son of a bitch. You've broken every law, including election fraud. You just... Every player in this act was a loser. From the jury to the judge to the prosecutor to the witnesses. Holy shit. I don't know where they came up with these witnesses, but you gotta gloat, you know. World's biggest ass convicted liar said on the stand he stole $80,000 from Trump, and they still let the testimony go on. Said he wanted Donald Trump to go to prison because he had to go to prison. Well, that's what thieves get, is prison. Stormy Daniels. Oh. Her testimony. I see dead people. I talk to dead people. You probably talk to a bunch of damn losers too, but they can't, unfortunately, they can't put your sorry, worn out JJ in prison. Do something this weekend. Do something. Rise up. Raise hell. Do something. If I have to do 10 podcasts this weekend, I will. I'm 75 years old. I can't get out here and fight with the popo. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't think there are many police officers that would put up a fight to stop you from protesting. Hell, he's got most of the cops backing him. This is not only sounding a warning here, this is sounding a warning across the world. Those little despots, Xi, Trump, Putin, Trump, little rocket man, Trump. They're all looking and saying, see what they did to Trump? That's what we do all the time. We don't like a political foe, we just put his ass in prison or get him killed. I wouldn't want to be Barron right now. I wouldn't want to be Melania. I would fear for their lives. Did you see those worthless and gutless sorry sacks of cow shit out in front of of course, the media didn't cover the Trump people. They just took pictures of he's guilty, you know. Oh, I'm so happy. They remind me of the sheep just following the leader to the slaughterhouse. They're too friggin' stupid to understand what they're cheering for. But they got Donald Trump. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, he's got the blacks behind him now because they've been shuffled in and out of court and penalized and thrown in prison for acts that they never did. They see themselves in Donald Trump. This is the only time in my life, 45 years in law enforcement, that if everybody wanted to just raise hell, I'd be right there with you. I would. I'm beyond depressed, and I'm scared. I told you so many months ago this was coming and what to expect afterwards. So I'll do another podcast probably on Saturday, and we'll see what shakes out. It's Jim Voss, high above my garage, 8 or 10 feet, with a broken heart and a broken spirit. I hope that Bragg and the judge and the jurors all go straight to hell. And I hope there's a special hot place for them, along with the child molesters and things like that. Still love my vets, my police officers, my first responders, all law enforcement. I'll do another podcast in a couple of days. Until then, get mean, get nasty. Good night.